got my federal student aid award. I'm going to go to school.
Federal student aid made college and Ben's dreams possible.
I think you can dream big and you can think about what you want to do with your life, but eventually you're going to have to, build that bridge to the next step.
Need help paying for college? Go to federalstudentaid.ed.gov, an office of the U.S. Department of Education. Start here, go further.
My name is Ben, and this is my story.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I think we just lost Joel. We're about to get him back in right now. I'm waiting right now. My producer, George, he's calling him up. You calling him up right now, George? Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's calling? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. All right, 78, you on?
Hey, what's up? What you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I just called in because I didn't know if you were trying to reach me or not.
Yeah, no, we didn't try to reach you right now. We got Joel Diaz on, and right now we're trying to get him back on the line. So, you got any questions you want to relate to him?
No, not necessarily. I'll listen in for a while and I'll piggyback off of you.
Okay, that's cool, man. Well, since I got you on the phone right now, man, let me go ahead and ask you, what do you think about that Gamboa situation? You think that's legit? You think that's a possible chance that'll happen? The Gamboa versus Manny Pacquiao? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about the situation between Gamboa and Pacquiao. I think that what they're doing with theirs, they're trying to find fights for Pacquiao to look good in, fights where they think are going to be exciting fights, but fights that are winnable for him. All right, and which is why they're hesitant on putting him in there with Tim Bradley again, because they're nervous about the fact that Bradley has mobility and can box and to make Pacquiao look bad. So Freddie Wilson just said that himself. So Gamboa is a little chinny, a good fighter, but he's chinny, and he get knocked down in lower weight classes. So bringing him up to 147 will probably be a cakewalk for Manny Pacquiao.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. And they're also looking at Gamboa being naturally smaller too. They're not too comfortable with fighting fighters that's bigger than he is. So okay, hold on for a second, 78. Do we have Joel Diaz back online? Okay, he just he just hung up, and we're trying to get him again. So let me ask you about the Mars-Gonzalez rematch. What you think about that, 78?
Well, I think that Abner, I don't think Mars did anything wrong the first fight. I think that's just boxing. Sometimes you run into that right guy who can put you on your butt. And I think that Abner he's embarrassed from the first fight. I think he'll come back, and we can see. I don't think he's going to change anything because we didn't get to see enough of the first fight to know if he did anything wrong. He just got caught. He just got caught with a good shot. And in boxing, that's what can happen. You get caught with a good shot, fight ends early. So I still think Abner Morales is a better fighter than Gonzalez.
Yeah, me too. Hey, well, stick around, 78. Don't hang up. I think we got Joel Diaz back on the line. Joel, you back on the line? Joel? I guess we got some problems going on over here. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and keep chopping with 78. No, 78, like I said, when it comes to Mars, I give Mars a lot of credit for taking, a rematch right away because he could have easily, built up his confidence by fighting a couple other fighters, and then came into the Gonzalez fight because he's got a lot to lose if he does go in there and get caught again. I do think that he has a whole lot more in the tank. He's a much better fighter than Gonzalez. Well, I won't say much better fighter, but I think he's slightly better than Gonzalez. But honestly, I can't call it, 78. I can't call that one because how it ended because, we don't really know how his confidence is, and we don't really know how he's going to look. So, I mean, are you picking you picking Morris to win that fight on 78?
Yeah, so I'm picking Morris to win. Actually, Gonzalez was fine, but I'm picking Morris to win. I think he's the better fighter. I think Gonzalez I would never say he got lucky. I think he just caught Morris quick, early with a good shot, and he put Morris down. So that can happen in boxing. Hakeem Rockman was not a better fighter than Lennox Lewis. Oliver McCall was not a better fighter than Lennox Lewis. Buster Douglas was not a better fighter than Mike Tyson. They were good fighters in their own right, but the thing happened in boxing,
Very good point. That's a good point, man. Real good point. So since we talking about rematches, we got to talk about Adrian Broner against Marcos Maidana, man. I give him a lot of credit for taking this rematch right away. This could basically make or break him in a huge way. Everyone's giving him advice to not fight Maidana right away. Move down to 140. What do you think he should do, and what is his chances of winning this fight, 78?
I think that actually, contrary to popular belief, man, I think Adrian Broner has a very good chance to win this fight. I think that one of the best things that could have happened to him in his career was getting a piece of humble pie from Marcos Maidana. I think that now he knows that this is not a game. He still has to put on the front and play around and stuff because he can't be seen as changing now or Maidana checked him or anything like that. So he's going to put on this front right now. But in the gym, best believe he is going to be in there in beast mode. And I think that he'll make adjustments. If he's smart, his trainer will help him to make adjustments, help him to figure out a game plan. And I said this before, it's going to be kind of similar to what Ray Leonard had to do when he fought Duran the second time. He has to come with a different game plan and play a mental game on Maidana because he's not strong enough to stand toe-to-toe with Maidana. And if you go back to the Rocky movie, when Apollo Creed was training Rocky in part 3, right? And he said, it doesn't take a man to stand there and get your head beat off, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Broner is going to have to realize. It don't take a man to stand there and get your head beat off. That's that Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward stuff. That's fine and dandy, but if you're going to use your brain, you need to learn how to box, move around the ring. I think Broner can do that, but will he do it is the question.
Yeah, man, excellent point. Excellent point, 78. If it continues where the last one left off, that's when Adrian Broner started to let his hands go, and that's when he hurt Marcos Maidana in the last round.
You have reached the maximum time.
So, I truly I can see a difference in this fight. I mean, if Adrian Broner is confident enough to, go back to a rematch when he knows that everything is on the line. My whole thing is, I thought that was the only problem is he didn't let his hands go. I think he was a little surprised. He was a little threw off that, Marcos Maidana bomb rushed him, and he was surprised of how strong he was. But like I said, I always thought, people kept sending me messages saying, why are you not giving Robert Garcia enough credit? Now, me personally, 78, Garcia, he's a decent trainer, but I don't really give him a whole lot of credit on Marcos winning this fight. I mean, Marcos was always an aggressive, come-forward fighter. And me personally, I thought when Robert Garcia told Adrian Broner in that last round, I was sitting there watching it. He told him, go in there and push Broner back. Don't take one step back. And I was sitting there saying to my friends when I was watching it, I was like, why would he tell him this when Marcos done already won the fight? He done already won the fight. All he got to do is stay on his feet. And soon as Marcos went in there in the first 30 seconds of the first minute, he ended up getting caught with something, and he ended up getting hurt because he listened to exactly what Robert Garcia said. So, man, I don't, think that he deserves all of the credit. I give Garcia a little bit of credit, but I give most of the credit to Marcos Maidana. And, man, I think this was a wake-up call for Adrian Broner. And we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know, man. Adrian Broner might surprise people and really hurt them. But, it's still going to be a close fight. I still see it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
That's why it's a great fight. That's why it's a great fight, because it's close, and you can't. I think in boxing you shouldn't go into a fight saying this guy has a 90% chance to win the fight. I mean, that's I don't want to see that. I like a fight where there's some drama going into the fight. Right? We saw So right now, I'm leaning towards Maidana. I give him a 60% chance to win this fight. You know, in my imaginary poll, 60% chance to win this fight. And because he already defeated Broner, and it's unanswered questions about Broner, but that's where the drama comes in. If Broner comes in with a better game plan than Maidana, if Maidana comes in there overconfident and thinking that he's just going to do the same thing to Broner, then who knows? This could be a classic fight. This could end up being a trilogy of fight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and you know, people was thinking Broner was just some prima donna, and you know, now Marcos Maidana, he's sitting over here. What you think about that? Now Maidana, he keeps like complaining and saying, "Why do I have to fight him again? Why do I have to fight him again? This is unfair." You know, obviously, you know, it was in the contract. I mean, do you think that Maidana is just concerned a little bit because he did get hurt in that 12th round, or do you think he was just focused on getting that big check from Mayweather? What you think?
Well, I don't think it was the Mayweather fight that got him. I think that more so it was. I think Maidana is looking at. He thought that since he won the title, he could start to dictate his future a little bit, and I don't think he was expecting Adrian Broner to exercise his rematch clause.
Yeah.
So. I think he kind of thought that maybe he spooked Adrian Broner and had him shook, but now that Broner wants to exercise his rematch clause, I think that kind of, surprised Maidana, and he's looking at it like, well, I didn't get, any of the rematches that I wanted, but the problem is, Broner was smart, and he got a rematch clause like Floyd Mayweather does. Whenever he fights anybody, Floyd has a rematch clause in the contract to where if I lose, you have to give me a rematch. And that's smart business, you can get a chance to win your title back. But so many fighters like Paulie Malignaggi, when he fought Broner, he didn't have a rematch clause.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yep, true that. Now we got about a little bit over a minute left, 78. I wanted to get more time and asking you about this. We'll talk about this on the next show, but let's start right now. Alex Ariza, man, and these PEDs, man. Is this the smoking gun that Manny Pacquiao been doping, man? 78? Do you think this is the smoking gun with Alex Ariza, with Freddie Roach and his admission that Alex Ariza been putting stuff in Manny Pacquiao's drinks, and Ariza he would never say what it is?
Oh well, that's old news. Like Freddie is just now admitting it, but if you remember, a few years ago, Amir Khan said something to the effect that I'm taking the same things that Manny's taking. And everybody said, "What are you talking about?" And they referred to some milkshake or some drink, some mystery drink they were taking. All right, and this was talked about years ago, back in 2011 or 12. They were talking about this, and it's just now resurfacing because it's convenient for Freddie Roach to snitch on Alex Ariza now that he's not a part of Entourage. But before, this guy was your buddy, and Manny was on top of the world taking this mystery drink, and now, since Ariza's not with you, you want to call him out and claim he's a cheater and all this stuff. Well, if he's a cheater, and he's always been a cheater, then that means your guy Pacquiao's a cheater.
Yep. What was his name? Was it Luis Restro 78, the one who got caught for Panama Lewis taking cotton out of his gloves? Was it Luis Restro, something like that? Well, anyway, whatever.
That was Louis Restro. When he talking about when he took the patent out of the gloves?
Yeah. And So the reason why I bring that up is because I'm wondering, 78, do you think this is going to be a situation where we're going to find out like 20 years later, like the Luis Restro story, that Manny Pacquiao was always juicing and it was being covered up by the boxing community, Top Rank, and whoever else is in charge?
No, I don't think we'll ever find out because there's so much invested in it now. It would have to be somebody close to a situation like Freddie Roach or a former trainer or something, or Alex Ariza himself to snitch it out. Otherwise, I don't think they're ever going to spill the beans on that situation because, there's a lot of shady stuff like that going on in the sport of boxing. But I think Pacquiao's being, if he did anything, and we don't know that he did anything, but we're talking about circumstantial evidence. If he did something illegal in the past.